welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be an interesting one. It is going to be a full face of discontinued products. Now, what makes this interesting is that all of these are unopened in my collection. Yes, my drawer of shame is so full that I now have products I've never tried that are now discontinued. So I'm going to be putting all these on my face. We're gonna see if they're expired because there's a good chance that they are, but I'm at least gonna test them out and just see what happens. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet. I would love it if you stuck around. But with all that, let's just get started. All right. Like I said, all of these are now discontinued. I don't know the status of them because they're all in their boxes, but we're gonna figure it out. This is a little bit of an embarrassing video for me, I'm going to be honest, because I really have to expose myself on just the overconsumption that I've done years past. I am trying to get a little bit better, a little bit more mindful, maybe try my products right when I purchase them, but without getting too ranty, let's just get started because I can work and talk. The first thing that I have is the J1 Red Jelly Pack. This is supposed to be like a gripping primer. I remember Nikki Tutorials was all about this primer at some point, and I think I purchased this when it was on sale at Ipsy, and that's probably when they discontinued it, and that was a while ago because I purchased this when I lived in America and I've been in Europe for 5 years now. So this is old. Hopefully it's not too bad. I mean, none of it's opened, so I kind of have some hopes that some of these are in decent condition. It is very thick like jelly. Makes sense. This was kind of like the first gripping primer, no? I mean, after this, all those gripping primers came out, the Milk, the e.l.f. I feel like this is the one that really put gripping primers kind of to the forefront of people's minds. Maybe I'm wrong, but at least from what I watched and I remember. So I'm gonna kind of let this sink in a little bit. And we're gonna move on to the next one, which is this is the one I'm the most concerned about, and it is the Cafe Marc Jacobs Extra Shot. Do we remember when this came out? I believe this did not have good reviews, and I think in my weird little mind, I was like, well, it doesn't have good reviews, but I'll be different. So I bought it anyways. Marc Jacobs hasn't been a brand for how long now? I don't know. Nobody knows. Here's what it looks like. Now, on top of it just being discontinued, I'm not a full coverage foundation wearer. I typically prefer a light to medium coverage, and this is supposed to be like a foundation concealer in one. So this should be really interesting. I think I'm going to use a blender, like a sponge, just to hopefully, smells okay. Just to hopefully make it a little bit less full coverage. What shade did I get? I got the shade medium 210. Also, there's no way that this is my shade. Maybe now in summertime, but typically like this would not be my shade. So let's just apply it. I'm just going to apply as not too much. See if I can spread this out. And go in. I don't remember what people didn't like about this foundation. I just remember it not getting the best reviews. And maybe I bought this on sale at Sephora, because a lot of the times I would do that because it was a good deal. Shade's actually not terrible, surprisingly. Sometimes these luxury brands, their darker shades run pretty light because in no world am I typically ever a medium skin tone, even in my peak of tan. It's definitely just like sitting on my skin. I won't say it looks the worst, but it also doesn't look the best. We're gonna see how this continues to go. Maybe it'll wear down okay. Like I said, it smells fine and it wasn't opened, so yeah, we'll see, we'll see. I don't know if I really need to wear it all the time. I have enough foundations where I can rotate through those, but it would be nice to feel like I didn't waste my money. And I feel like I've been hanging on to some of these because I just needed to test them before I got rid of them. At least if I tried them out, I wouldn't feel like I wasted my money too much. Now the concealer that I have, moving right along, is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. I have the shade 12. This is not a discontinued concealer, but it is reformulated. And I remember when everyone loved this. I don't know why they reformulated this concealer. This one smells all right too. Maybe like a hint. I also don't have the best sense of smell, so that kind of works out in my favor. This is super creamy though. It just kind of like glides on, almost like a very silicone feel. I remember Desi and Katie, before they kind of switched over to lifestyle, they talked about this foundation a ton, which is why I bought it. And then it sat in my drawers. I would love to know if I'm not the only one who does this. Make me maybe feel a little less alone. I don't know what it is. Why some things I can get rid of. Like I've decluttered a lot. Trust me, I've had so much that I've just bought and then not tried. And I am really getting better with that. You can ask anyone in my family. But for some reason, like some of these products, like all of the ones I'm going to talk about today, I just haven't been able to declutter. And I think it's just like some weird attachment to them that I just needed to try them before letting go. I'm hoping that kind of helps with, this video kind of helps with that. This is a nice concealer though, actually. It blends so well into the skin. It looks absolutely flawless. I think it was a good choice, specifically with the foundation. And to be honest, the foundation doesn't look that bad. I actually don't mind it. Yeah. So for powder, the powder that I picked is the Becca Light Shifter Finishing Veil in the shade 1 Scattering. I thought this would be a good pairing with the Marc Jacobs. And Becca's no longer a brand either. This was their last launch before kind of going under. And I think it was like their last ditch effort, I think. So I'm not really even sure what, I mean, it's a finishing veil. I think a lot of people were just confused by this launch. Like, is it a foundation? Is it a finishing powder? Is it a setting powder? And the other products they had, they were just kind of like these hybrid products. So it made it really confusing. I'm going to treat it like a normal powder and just see. I bought a lot of, I have more Becca products, but I bought a lot of these Becca products when their website was like 50% off. And I took advantage of that. I bought all the things that I had been wanting to try from them that I just didn't. Now I did have other Becca stuff, like I was saying, that I'm able to declutter some things but not others. I did have the like foundation type product that they came out with, and I let that go because I knew I'd never get around to it. The powder though just looked like a nice powder. And I wouldn't say it's blurring, but it's a nice thin powder. Is it special? No. I'll have to like see what it does, but it definitely, I mean, it kind of looks matte almost. I feel like it almost mattified my skin, which is weird because this is supposed to be like a light reflecting. Okay. I don't know. This powder confuses me, which I think is why I took so long to try it, but probably why it just didn't go over well with a lot of people. Did set down my makeup really nice though. Okay. Moving on to bronzer. For bronzer, I have a MAC bronzer. This was a limited edition from the Electric Wonder collection. I wanted this collection so bad because, I mean, is this not like the most millennial packaging you've ever seen in your entire life? It is. And I bought everything in the collection. There was a blush, a lipstick, a couple of lipsticks. There were 2 face palettes. This bronzer, I decluttered the face palettes. I decluttered some other things. I think I kept the lipstick and I kept the blush, but here is the bronzer, and I kept the bronzer, obviously. This is in the shade Canyon Dreaming. So let's just see how this works. It doesn't look too shiny. It's kind of just a matte bronzer here. And it was the packaging on this. This was one that I bought when I was traveling, so I had to send it to family. And then by the time I got it, just new things were coming out. And since I mostly bought it for the packaging, less for the actual product, I never got around to trying it. But it would be nice to use it and actually pull out the compact and remember how pretty it is instead of it just sitting in my drawer. This is a very pigmented bronzer. I mean, I'm having to go a little bit more light-handed than I normally would. Take this down my neck a little bit. It's not overly pigmented where I can't get away with it, but this is probably maybe meant for more medium skin tones. And I categorize myself as light. It's passable. It's passable, I think. Not too bad. It's actually a really pretty bronzer. I quite like it. At least the powder products don't expire as quickly. This doesn't seem to have gone off. I don't know how. I can't like say the performance went down because this is my first time trying it, but it seems to be doing okay. All right, this isn't turning out too bad. I don't know if I'll be comfortable putting the foundation and concealer on my face again, but it's at least looking okay. I thought my skin was just gonna look really, really bad. For blush, I told you I had some Becca products. This is the Becca Mineral Blush in Flower Child. Everyone used to talk about the Becca blushes and I never got to try them. So again, I picked these up when they were going out of business. So Flower Child's kind of like a very peachy, it's not what I expected. I never even opened it. It kind of gives me lighter NARS Orgasm vibes. It seems like it has a sheen to it. Yeah, kind of. Let's just see. I'm gonna apply a little bit to my cheeks. Now I think I have another Becca blush. This isn't my only one. I think the other one I have is Wild Honey, but I did buy like all of them and only kept 2. Progress, right? Progress. The things we spend our money on, or at least the things I spend my money on. Sometimes I have to question myself. This is pretty. I mean, I don't know if it's like, I'd be sad that this was discontinued. But it is a pretty blush, very pigmented. I mean, I only dipped my brush in once and it went for both cheeks. So very pigmented, very pretty. It's not too much. I have not gotten into the super big blush trend. I mean, I've definitely gone more with my blush, but nowhere near the blush blindness that we're talking about now. At least I don't think so. Maybe I'm blind to it. Haha. It's pretty. It gives a nice sheen. I thought it was gonna kind of have like some glitter to it, but it doesn't. It just gives a nice sheen, which is the kind of glowy blush I like. I don't like an overly highlight blush like the Rare Beauty. That's just not me, especially because I still like putting on highlighter. I think that's kind of popular because people forego highlight. I do not. So I prefer a glowy blush like this. Now moving on to highlight. This is the only one I'm not sure if it's discontinued. I tried to look on the Too Faced website and I don't see it. This is the Too Faced Glover Puppy Love Highlighter. And I didn't see it on the website, but I think I saw it on some other websites. It's hard to say. So this is my only iffy one. Let's open it up for you. It just was so cute. And Mel Thompson, I've been talking about her a lot recently. She loved this highlight and that's why I bought it. I also have the bronzer, but since I wasn't sure if it was discontinued, I wanted to use the MAC one instead. It has a little imprint of a puppy here. I love dogs, if you didn't know that by now. Usually you can hear my dogs barking in the background. Let me just get to applying this. I'm not expecting anything revolutionary, and honestly, even if this was expired, I would still keep it and just put it in my makeup memory box because I love it that much. This is one I think I was more afraid to open for the packaging, not necessarily because of anything else. It's pretty subtle, which is nice. Especially with this blush. And especially for Too Faced. I mean, Too Faced usually has a little bit more glowy products. I'm gonna add a little bit kind of here, just what's on my brush, only because that powder seemed to have mattified more than I was thinking. Okay, I think the face is looking pretty decent. I have everything applied, brush, bronzer, and highlight. That sometimes it's tough to say. I have two things left. I have eyes and lips. Should we do eyes first or lips first? Let's do eyes. For eyes, I have the Lawless, the Glam one. I bought this right when it launched. It was at a holiday launch, and I just loved the look of it. So I purchased it, and it was like a struggle to get this here because I did buy this when I was living in France, so I had to pay customs and stuff. Here's what it looks like. Is it anything revolutionary? No, but I don't know. This is one that I bought semi-recently and then just never reached into. I think because by the time it came to me, I was kind of over it. It really took like a couple of months. I normally don't have any kind of problems shipping from the US to France, but this time I did. There are those dogs that were spoken about. I'm gonna go in with just a very simple eye look. I'm not gonna talk too much or explain too much what I'm doing, but it's a pretty plain palette. I've never tried anything from Lawless in terms of eyeshadows. I hear like mixed reviews, not the best, not the worst. And they always seem to come out these limited edition 6-pans. Since I never tried this, I at least got a little bit wiser and stopped purchasing the 6-pans because I did want some other ones that came out. There was the lavender one, some other just limited edition ones. And I was like, well, you can't purchase it until you try this one. So I at least stuck to that. Small baby steps. It's gonna deepen up the outer corner a little. Just a really simple neutral eye. I don't know if this really has a place in my collection, but part of me wants to keep it. And then I'm gonna deepen that up even more. This would be a really nice travel palette, I will say that. I would prefer a little bit more shimmers. It only has 2 shimmers, 6 mattes, but it has the type of shimmers I would use, so I guess it's not the worst thing ever. For the shimmer, I'm gonna go in with the more gold versus the more pink. And see how this goes. It does not have an inner corner highlighting shade. So let's just go back in with the Too Faced and apply that for my inner corner really quickly. And see how that goes. not too bad. I mean, cute, cute. Special? No. Did I actually need this and have it sit in my drawer for years? Probably not. Same thing on the lower lash line, just taking those colors. I'm gonna connect it. And then lastly, taking the deepest, darkest shade and lining my top lash line. I quickly just did the other eye off camera, did my brows, added liner, mascara, etc. And I quite like the look that this little palette did. I mean, it's simple, but I had no problem with the eyeshadow formula. It's not super impactful, but really easy. Like, I could see this being a really dependable eyeshadow palette. So now we just have lips left, also a questionable category. And again, another Becca. Lips was actually the hardest category for me to find something discontinued. This was the only thing that I had. I am finally getting through my lip unopened pile, so that's at least kind of nice. This is like 2 little mini Becca lipsticks, and I don't know what shades they're in. I think this came gift with purchase when I was buying all my stuff from the Becca website. And we're gonna see what color we do. So these are really pretty. There's Petal and there's Hibiscus. Both has a C, I'm assuming for cool. So this is Petal, darker than I was anticipating. There's Petal and Hibiscus. Okay. I mean, should we do Hibiscus for fun? Because I probably will take this off right after. So maybe we should. I feel like my eye's neutral enough, right? Let's just try it out. It actually still smells like vanilla. Okay. Surprising. I do not wear this type of lipstick a lot. But I feel like it'll actually go with the look. I know a lot of people raved about Becca's lipstick formula. It's not really like a red, it's more of like a pinky red. But here's the Becca lipstick on my lips. Could look worse. I don't know why I don't reach for reds. Like, I want to be a red wearer, but I'm just not. So this is the completed look. I mean, I think it could look worse. Now, when I was doing mascara, I was able to kind of get a closer look at my skin. The base could be better. Let's just go over everything really quickly instead of jumping around. The primer, I'm going to keep using this. I think that it's okay. I mean, we'll see if it breaks me out or anything, and then I'll stop using it. But for now, like, I kind of do want to finish this up. I feel like it's something that is fine and just needs to get used up and out of my collection. Now, the foundation, it's just sitting in my pores is the problem. So it's kind of emphasizing just right here, which is my biggest problem category as far as my skin. So it's not doing any favors. And then on top of that, just the complexion's highlighting it even more. I don't know if I'll keep this. I might just toss it, even though it smells fine. I mean, like I said, I have so many foundations in my collection, honestly, because foundation's my favorite to review, that it's not worth dedicating the time to trying to use this up when there's others that I could put my focus in and use them before they go bad. So I might just toss that. I might try it one more time just to really see that I don't like it, but life's too short to be putting potentially bad foundation on. The concealer, though, to be a hypocrite, I might keep this and try it more. Again, like, it smells fine for now, so this might be one I just prioritize until it goes off. It was unopened, so it looks really nice on the skin. It just looks super hydrating. Like, I feel like my eyes look really healthy and youthful. So quite like this. And I might even consider trying the new one if this one goes bad sooner rather than later. After that, we have the complexion products. The bronzer, nothing really like pro or con to say about this. I mean, I think it was a nice bronzer and I'll definitely use it. It's not a special color. The call out is definitely the packaging, but at least the product works in it as well. That's really nice. I don't know if I love the blush. I think the blush is actually my least favorite thing. It's just a little bit too glowy for me. I was expecting it to be a little bit more matte, and like I said, with the foundation already sitting in my pores, this is sitting in my pores as well, and also just like reflecting light off of my pores. So not a super big fan of this. I wonder if the other shade that I have is more matte. And then the highlighter is just cute. I mean, how can you resist this? They did really well with this collection, and I'm happy to have it. No complaints. It's like a subtle, just medium glow highlight. I'm seeing now that I forgot the powder. The powder I need to try separately, this Becca Scattering Lights powder. I just need to try this with other foundations because I'm not sure. It could be the powder, it could be the foundation. My face is looking very glowy. I will say that. I thought it was looking matte. These lights are deceiving, but when I was putting my mascara on, I was like, okay, I'm glowy today. I am very, very glowy. So yeah, I'll have to test this one out. Jury's out. Maybe I'll declutter it, but I'm hoping that the powder is good and the foundation is the one causing the issues. Then the eyeshadow, I think it's pretty obvious. Like, also, this is one of my favorites. I like it a lot. The formula worked really great. I'm wondering if Lawless just uses different formulas in their eyeshadows, and that's why some palettes do better than others. I would consider picking other stuff up from this. Lawless is definitely a brand I want to try more of. I've only tried this now, and the Forget the Filler gloss is what I'm trying to say. So I would really like to try their cream blushes. They also have a really nice powder, I heard, some complexion products. I want to explore this brand more. And then the lipstick's nice. I mean, it's brighter than I would do normally, but it's very nice lipstick. It's very comfortable. It's not emphasizing my lip lines at all. It feels kind of just like a lip treatment type of product. So feels like nothing on the lips, no complaints. It still smells like vanilla, so I don't know how much use I'll get out of this dark shade, but maybe I will pull the Petal shade, this one, into a Shop My Stash, try and get a little bit of use out of it before it goes bad. But that is my full face of discontinued products that I've never tried. I would love to know down below if I'm the only one with a bunch of products in my drawer of shame that's now been discontinued. You bought them, you were excited about them at one point, and then new things came out, you bought them, and these just became further and further down on the list of priorities to crack into and try. Please let me know that I'm not alone. If I am, it's okay, it is what it is, but we're changing our habits one step at a time. But yeah, this is where I'm gonna leave you all. I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.